Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I for one, am very tired, but I'm going to pretend like I'm not.
Savannah
Okay.
may or may not have beef with me.
Yeah, just like a little bit because, we usually record, in the evening, but not super late. It is 9:45 p.m. and I go to bed. I go to bed kind of early, like
Okay,
10:30,
honestly,
11.
sorry that you're a grandma.
I just need my sleep because, I have to wake up in the morning at like 6:20 is my alarm.
Yeah, that's not fair because mine's at 8:30, so
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You know what? It was extenuating circumstances of why we had to record late today.
I know. I understand, but I am going to try not to be too tired.
Sorry to Savannah's sleep schedule. However, at least tomorrow's Friday for you.
It's true.
So then the weekend you can sleep in.
Yeah.
Yay.
You're right.
So other than the fact that I'm sorry about that, please, if you don't mind, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as per usual. And guys, I have a little bit of an update to a story that I did actually a while back, and I didn't even check which story it was, so sorry about it. Just go back and look through the titles. But so I covered a while back the Georgia Guidestones, and so actually the little update is 2 days ago, or maybe 3, we are recording this, someone, and they have not caught who it was, blew up the Georgia Guidestones, exploded them. Okay.
That's insane.
And I was like, that is a little bit suspicious, which then led me down a rabbit hole, and some friends gave me some information that I did not find when I was originally doing my research. So I thought I would share that apparently the people who wrote the Georgia Guidestones, people kind of assume that the language like in it is like kind of racist in the most subtle way possible.
Oh.
And so people are saying that that's why that whoever exploded it to try to get it out of Georgia. And apparently like people who were running like for office for like multiple different versions of office in Georgia, like part of their running stance was that they were going to take down the Guidestones. So apparently this is a really big issue, and I don't have no idea how I missed that like in the research. So I am sorry about that. Maybe we'll get like a revisit one day and I'll go deeper into that. But yeah, they are exploded and it is permanently closed now. So,
well, I guess that's a good thing. I don't even know.
I know. I know.
That's crazy.
It's so
I didn't
wild.
know that was an issue.
Yeah, I didn't either. I had no idea. So hopefully we'll have a revisit one day and we'll go deeper into that. But yeah, if you wanted to go see them, it's too bad because now you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's insane. Okay, one more thing on my topic list. I'm moving.
Yay!
So that's cool.
Amazing.
I actually bought a house.
Savannah's a homeowner.
I'm an adult.
That's amazing. Can we get a round of applause? Yay, we are so proud.
Thank you.
I'm really honestly so proud. I hope to one day be a homeowner.
See, I feel like most of it was just luck. So,
but that's how it is in the real world, baby. It's who you know.
Like, if you can't get a house right now, then I'm really sorry because it's really hard. And
it's so
I'm
hard.
just lucky.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
It's facts.
But I move in. We're recording this on a Thursday. I move in, like, by the time this is out, I've already moved in.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Excited.
That's so exciting. Yay.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to come to your house. And I'm also just really excited for you. Because if you guys don't know, or if you haven't listened to all of our episodes, Savannah actually is Harry Potter, and her recording studio is in fact a closet. So I'm really excited for you to have like a space, a podcast space that's not a closet.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to find a better one because I'm going to be moving in. I'm not going to have furniture to do this.
But, like, just in the future, it's going to be better,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'll figure it out.
I'm so excited.
I'm hoping that we won't have to skip any episodes. So fingers
Yeah.
crossed on that.
I mean, I could
But
always, attempt one on my lonesome or bring a friend, phone a friend.
maybe. True, true.
We could see. I could honestly talk to myself for hours, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a problem. But anyways, so I do have one last little story update.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, actually, Savannah covered the story of the Voynich Manuscript. I don't know if I'm saying
Yeah.
that right. Sorry, I didn't cover the story. But basically, it's just like really weird manuscript that like kind of is unexplained, written in an unknown language type deal. And we kind of came to the conclusion, spoiler alert if you haven't listened, that it's like some kind of medical journal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
actually, what we didn't even realize was a deeper part of that is it turns out it is a medical journal, allegedly, and that is actually from the quote unquote witches of like an area. And so during the time that this was written, it was like when like the witch hunt era was going on and like everybody was calling everybody a witch, specifically people who could like women who could heal people through like herbal remedies and such things. So, what these quote unquote witches did was they came up with their own language so that they could tell each other how to like cure people using these remedies without people catching them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that makes so much
It
sense.
makes it answers all the questions that I had at
Yeah.
the end of that episode.
Yeah.
So,
Except for what does it say?
I
Because
mean,
we still don't
yeah,
know that, but
we do not know what it says. And you know what? We maybe never will, but
yeah.
it makes the story, I don't know, in my mind more like believable because I still was like on the fence if it was a medical journal or not, but now
Mm-hmm.
fully believe that. So yeah, that's all the updates I have and intros. So Savannah, you wanna take it away?
Yes, yeah.
Let's do
Okay, so this week mine's kind of scary.
it. We love that. I love when
Yeah.
you go for a little scary one.
Yeah, it's I mean usually mine just aren't at all, so if it is like a little bit, I feel like I have to say that, you know.
Exactly. That's true. That's true.
Um I was telling my sister Adriana about this story. I like gave her a little summary of it and she was like creeped out by it.
Okay, good, good. I hope I'm creeped out by it.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, but she
excited.
is also 13 and she gets scared kind of easily. So there's that too.
There's also that.
But but yeah. So, this is the story of Madame Koi Koi.
Madam Koi Koi. Okay. I love the name.
Uh-huh. And you shouldn't be laughing at her, honestly.
Okay, let me
She's
stop.
scary.
Yeah, she can't come after me. Not already.
Yeah, really. So, she's also called Lady Koi Koi, or like there's just like many different names that she's called by. But this is an African legend, mainly in Nigeria, but it's also in like a few other countries surrounding. And there's also like different versions of the story, just like, you know, a lot of the legends that we and like urban legends and stuff that we cover, there's
For
different
sure.
versions as it spreads throughout. But there are similarities. So basically, this story will take place at a boarding school. So like a school where the kids they live there.
Yeah.
There is basically a mean teacher who wears blood red stilettos
Oh.
and she has matching red lipstick.
Okay. Slay.
Yes. Yeah, honestly true. But her her shoes make like, you know, the clicking sound when she walks,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they say it makes the sound koi koi as she
Oh.
walks. So
Okay.
that's where she gets her name.
Okay.
The koi koi of her little stilettos. And she's really mean. As I said before, she would punish students for no reason.
Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah, or for like, you know, really stupid reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell two versions of the story. The first one is kind of short, and the other one I get more like dramatic with it.
Okay, good.
So this first one is the more popular one. I guess both of these are kind of popular, but like these are the top two. But anyways, so this story starts at the boarding school, and one day the teacher, Miss Koi Koi, she punished a student by beating them really badly.
Oh my god.
And she hurt their ear.
Mm-hmm.
And after this, her parents came into the school and like yelled at her, and you know the teachers came in and were like, "Why did you hurt a student?"
Yeah.
And she ended up getting fired. But then on her way home, she ended up crashing her car and died.
Oh.
Miss Koi Koi.
Oh wow.
And she said that she would avenge her death, which is like, I don't
Girl.
really get how that's...
It was deserved. I mean, sorry. Maybe you didn't deserve to die, but like you deserve some punishment for doing that to those children.
That's why I don't really like this version of the story. I'm like, okay, you crashed. That was your own fault.
Literally,
almost,
all of it
know?
actually was your fault.
Yeah. So she said she would avenge her death and like go after the girl and the whole school.
Oh my god, that's so
and it's
dramatic.
just like you already hurt her ear. Like,
right. Like, is that not enough? Also, you're a ghost now. What can you do?
Exactly. So, a few days later, the students would hear the koi koi of heels late at night in the dormitory.
Ew. Oh, I forgot they lived there. Ew, ew, ew.
And she is said to come out at night and haunt the dorms.
That's so disgusting. Wait, where did you say this school is?
Well, it's just like any school, but it's in Nigeria.
Okay. Ooh.
It's really just like, I don't think it's tied to any specific school that I could see. I mean, maybe it can be traced back, but like it was just like general.
Got you.
And they also say if you call her name 3 times, she'll come.
Okay, now I've already said that way too many times. And you.
Honestly, same. But I feel like you have to be in a dormitory, so we're fine. You know?
Thank goodness.
Also, that's a throwback to Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
That's another reason Adriana didn't like this story when I said Bloody Mary.
She does not like Bloody Mary, no.
She's like so scared of Bloody Mary.
Listen,
we
when
just
I was
said
her
it 3
age,
times.
I know. When I was her age, I definitely was also afraid of Bloody Mary, so I can't blame her.
No, true. Okay, so that is one of the versions of the story, but this other one I feel like is crazier. So let's get into this other version of the story. This one starts that there's a new student at the boarding school in Nigeria, and the history teacher was called Madame Koi Koi by the students because of the clicking of her heels, her blood red stilettos. Of course, it has to be blood red. And she was the most ruthless and mean teacher at the school.
The fact that she was beating these children in stilettos.
No, I know.
Like, girl, come on.
Yeah. And she was rumored to have hit students at times and punish them for even small things. The students had not reported any physical abuse, but they had bruises, so you could sort of tell.
Oh my god, that's awful. Yeah. They were so scared of her.
Exactly. And of course, her lips matched her blood red stilettos.
Of course,
which is like, yeah. One day, the new student saw another student come out of Madame Koi Koi's office with a swollen face.
No.
And she tried to cover it up because she didn't want anyone to see, but it was clearly bruised. And she like ran into the bathroom, and this new girl followed her, and there were like a few other girls already in there. And they were all like consoling her and like just making sure she was okay. But then they were like, you know what? This teacher, She's got to get what's coming to her.
Yeah. Facts.
So they started to plot their revenge on her.
As they should.
See, this is why I like this story better. Like, they're plotting revenge on her instead of the other way around.
This is the only way it makes sense.
Exactly. So they start to plot their revenge. The other faculty, like, they're clearly not doing anything.
Yeah.
So they're like, we need to take matters into our own hands. And they planned to attack her.
Ooh.
So Madame Koi Koi was locking up at night, and the group of girls, they snuck up behind her.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. She turned around and, like, saw them, and she started making fun of and, like, mocking the girl she hit earlier for running away.
God, she's so awful.
I know. She's like, I can't believe you ran away. I was like,
girl, what was she supposed to do? Stand there and get hit?
Right. But here's what gets kind of savage. One of the girls took out a softball bat.
Me.
And hit the teacher.
Listen, as she should.
Honestly. She fell to the ground, and this part creeps me out. The teacher, she dug her nails into the girl who hit her, dug her nails into her calf.
Oh, ow.
Yeah.
That just hurt me so bad.
Like,
that's not what I thought you were going to say, but that hurt me so bad.
Yeah, I know. So then she just, like, hit her again, because she's like, well, get off of me.
Yeah.
And then all the other girls started beating her up too. So they're all just, like, attacking this woman. But then the new girl who was with them, she was just, like, standing there as a lookout. So she wasn't really involved. But so they kept beating her, hitting her, and, she ended up dying from this. But, these girls, they're savage. They just cleaned up, and they buried her in the woods.
Wow, they said, we have one job and one job only.
Exactly. And the next few days, the police were looking for her. I forgot to say, after they cleaned up and buried her in the woods, they were, like, so happy, because they were like, we can finally sleep at night and not be just anxious that this teacher's gonna come after us.
That's just so awful. Like, she really deserved that. I'm sorry, but she did.
No, honestly. But yeah, so the police were looking for the teacher the next few days, and the girls who were involved in the attack, they started disappearing one by one.
Excuse me? That just gave me full body chills.
Yep. So, there were, I believe there were 5 to begin with, and there were 2 left at this point.
Oh my God.
The new girl, and then it was also the girl who was beaten.
Okay.
And they were scared they would be next, And they were in one of their dorm rooms talking about where the others could have gone, or, like, what could have happened to them. And, if someone's going to come after them next. And then they started to hear a noise.
The koi noise?
They pressed their ears against the door and heard a koi walking down the hallway.
Right now.
And then they looked at the bottom of the door, looked under the door, and saw blood red.
Stop it. Right. Oh, absolutely not.
And then the door flew open. No. And there she was, standing there.
No.
There she was, and she looked ragged and patched up, like, basically like a zombie.
Ew.
And she was holding the bat that they had used on her a few nights before.
Oh, how?
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. And she hit them with the bat, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
And left them near death, but didn't, fully kill them. And then she vanished. The girl who, in the beginning of the story, the girl who was beaten, she bled out quickly. But the new girl, she stayed alive and was rushed to the hospital.
Oh, okay. So she did survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was one survivor.
Wow.
And she was so, in shock, and she couldn't say anything.
Of course.
Except when people asked her what happened, all she could say was, koi, koi.
No. That's crazy.
So that's a story.
Stop. That's horrifying.
Isn't that insane?
Dude, that lady's crazy. In life and in the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That story, that's a good one.
Ooh.
I think.
Ooh, Miss Koi Koi. I'm just a little bit confused about how cannot talk. How her shoes can make the sound koi koi.
It's just
I guess I can hear it.
the same click clack, it's just a different way of saying that.
No, for sure. No, you're right.
I can get how you can get that.
Me too.
Noise.
After I just said it out loud to myself.
Yeah.
That's
and I do have some other names for her listed at the bottom here. I guess I should have put them at the top, but they're at the bottom. So I already said Madam Koi Koi and Lady Koi Koi.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Madam High Heel.
Oh.
Which is what they call her in Ghana.
Okay.
And also Miss Kankoko in Tanzania.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of that one before. That's interesting. At least that name. Miss Kankoko. Rings a very, very vague bell in my brain.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, that was all the names?
She's going to be in your nightmares.
I hope not. If I see a woman in my nightmares with a bat today, Savannah, I'm coming right after you. Just like Miss Koi Koi.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrifying.
In the original story, the other one that I told that was really short, she didn't even have a bat or anything. She just would come around and beat you up.
I'm not
with her
trying
bare
to get
hands.
up. This woman is a savage. A straight savage.
You know what? I'm surprised that she didn't use her heel.
That's okay. That's where I thought you were gonna go with it.
Yeah.
She's giving me very much so. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. She's giving me very much so Miss Trunchbull vibes from Matilda.
Yes.
But worse, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but maybe she does in some versions, take off her shoe and hit you with it.
Yeah, as she should.
Maybe that's why it's blood red. I don't know.
Oh, now that is a good point. That is a good point. Yeah. Ooh, that was a creepy story. Mm-hmm. You were right about that, Adriana. Shout out if you're listening.
I know. I kind of feel bad for telling her because she was so
now she's
scared.
Gonna be really afraid.
I know.
Savannah's out here just traumatizing little children.
Yeah, sorry.
She's not that little of a child. That's crazy. Well, okay. So today for you guys, I have 2 stories for you, actually. We're getting a BOGO, a buy one, get one, if you will.
Ooh, love that.
Yes, we do. So today, I will be covering the legends of The Walking Dead and an Unrest Stop.
Oh, interesting.
Creepy. So, actually, for a really long time, I've been wanting to cover a Reddit story or a couple Reddit stories on here because some of them are super duper spooky, either having to do with haunted or cryptids or just anything really. Mm-hmm. And so the 2 stories that I'm doing today are from Reddit. And so we do know, anything that's on Reddit, you can never fully know if these stories are true or not. But, we also don't ever know if any of the stories we ever tell are true or not, So,
Right. They're more like internet legends,
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just going to ask you to suspend your disbelief for these stories and see what we think. Just believe, if it was real, how would you feel? Yeah. And if you choose not to believe them, then whatever, I don't care. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Period. So, okay, the first one is called The Walking Dead. And no, it has nothing to do with the TV show.
Oh, okay.
So, sorry.
I haven't watched that show anyway. So.
Of course you haven't. I don't know. I mean, was that even a question? I mean, I have seen The Walking Dead, so.
Yeah, I assumed you.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen everything, Savannah's seen nothing, so.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's life. Okay, so I'm just going to tell this story, like, how it was written in Reddit. So it's going to be, like, first person point of view, but I'm not talking as myself, okay? I'm talking as the person who wrote the story. Just so you all know. So, Let's get right on into it. I am a psychiatric nurse and early in my career, and I was working in a residential mental health facility, okay? And one of our residents was an elective mute, which basically means that, like, they don't/won't/can't talk. But regardless of, like, the reason why, there is no medical reason to explain why they can't talk. Now, obviously, like, mental health and mental illness plays a part of why they won't or can't talk. Right. But physically, there is no reason for them not to be able to talk. Like, there's nothing wrong with their vocal cords, you know, or anything like that. Okay. So, this resident, the one that was mute, had actually spoken earlier in his life, and actually he lived, like, a seemingly, like, quote-unquote normal life, except for the fact that he was 7 feet tall.
Oh.
So,
wow.
That's not normal. That's very large. Large and in charge. Yeah, so...
See, sometimes I wish I was a little bit taller, but, like, 7 feet, that's
too much.
Yeah,
that's too much. Wait, how tall are you?
5'5".
Yeah, I'm 5'7". I feel like I'm a good height.
Yeah.
7 feet would be way too much. You would have to duck in every door you would have to walk into.
Yeah, like, I feel bad for anybody who's...
Me too.
Like, that tall, because, like, everything's made for people who are smaller than that.
Yeah, it's so sad. So sad, honestly.
Yeah.
So this man, the mute patient, 7 feet tall, he was raised in the Deep South and joined the military right when he was 19. And so one night, while out on a job for the military, he all just up and vanished. Gone. Oh. 1 second there, the next second gone. And nobody knew where he went. And obviously they had, like, searches out there and nobody ever found him. And so eventually he was declared AWOL in the military. And then after months and months of still not finding not even, like, one lead to where he could possibly be, they finally declared him missing and then eventually dead. Yeah. So that seems like a normal enough story, but if you remember, I said that I work in a mental health facility, and this man is my patient, okay?
Right.
The one that was declared dead, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what happened? Okay. So 10 years after he was declared dead, a 7-foot-tall man walked into a VA hospital emergency room in part of where I live in the Midwest, and said to the receptionist, "My name is Marin Duchesne, and I have been dead for 10 years.
What? Wait, what?
Like, excuse me, what, sir? I would be okay, psych ward immediately. Like, now, obviously, I have to mention that is not his actual name, as this person obviously can't disclose their patient's name, so that he just named him Marion Duchesne. So,
okay, yeah.
Just in case anybody wanted to go out there, like, you're not going to find anything. And so those words, quote, "My name is Marion Duchesne and I have been dead for 10 years, were the last words that Marion ever spoke. Okay. When he was admitted, people noticed that he was covered with dust and also wearing the same exact clothes that he had been reported to have been wearing the night that he went missing.
Oh my God, for 10 years?
For 10 years. And, like, that's, like, where did he go? Right. Genuinely. And so his Social Security card had not been used since his quote-unquote death, and he had no ID on him. However, the hospital was actually they were able to ID him via fingerprints, I guess, like, from the military. So they, like, literally confirmed that this was this man. They were like, okay. Yes, somehow it is. So the hospital reached out to his family and notified them and was like, "Listen, I know this is crazy, but, like, he's alive in this hospital somehow,
Mm-hmm.
some way. And they said that they had already grieved the loss of their family member and that whoever was claiming to try to be him was simply lying.
Oh my
And
God.
the hospital tried to call them multiple times and like demand to be like, hello, like this is your son slash family member, like whatever. But they demanded to never be contacted again.
Okay, see, I have a problem with that just because, like, if that happened to somebody that I knew, it's like you didn't even see them dead, like they were missing.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
He was
Why,
missing.
like, why do you not believe that they came back? I get that, like, okay, you grieved that they were dead, but
Totally.
you never saw them dead, so they very well
Exactly.
could be alive. So why are you just gonna leave them at the
Right. Like that's
hospital?
so it's so messed up. And like I don't know, like I would at least want to see. And also the
Yeah.
fact that this man is 7 feet tall, like there are not that many 7 feet tall men out there.
Yeah, that's also true.
That's
Yeah.
like that's a very identifying fact. And they match his fingerprints in the system. So like it's him. So that
Yeah.
just like boggles my mind. Like if that happened to me, I would go see. Like I don't even care if it
Mm-hmm.
turned out to not be him, whatever, it's fine. Like
Yeah, exactly.
crazy.
What's the worst that could happen?
Right. It's not him. You just go home. Like, okay, sorry. Like, anyways, so back to the story. Marion paced all day, every day, just around his room, paced back and forth, back and forth. And when he would pace around the room, his mouth was moving, like almost as if it was talking or like muttering, but no sound was coming out,
Oh.
which is just a little bit creepy, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had this really scary habit, which is even worse than the talking with no sounds coming out. His habit was that he would throw his head back with his mouth wide open, like as wide as it would go, as if he was laughing really hard, but like not even a breath could be heard.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Marion, baby, that's horrifying.
Yeah, it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah. And so, if I talked to him, he appeared to listen and throw his head back in that laughter type way. We ended up trying so many different medications to help him, but no medicine seemed to do anything. And when I say anything, I mean it didn't hurt him, it didn't help him, it didn't change anything. We also tried occupational therapy too, but it did nothing because Marion would just grin, and unless told multiple times to stay put, he would just get back up and start pacing again. And on my last day of that job, the last thing I saw was Marion pacing around in the parking lot, throwing his head back in his little laughter way. And all these years later, I still don't know what was going on. And that's the end of that Reddit story.
Oh my God, that's it?
That's it.
Crazy.
Okay, but I have some follow-up questions. Okay, so
Okay.
what do you think? Like, do you think this man, like, somehow was able to survive those 10 years and then escape and then come back and find his way back?
I mean,
Like, was
I
he a
don't know.
ghost?
Like, I want to know if he looked the same, too. Like, he's wearing the same clothes, but does he look the same as when he left?
I
Or
mean,
does
I'm
he look
assuming
older?
that he does. I have to assume that he does.
Hmm.
It didn't say in the story. But, like, I mean, if he looked, like, crazy, I feel like that would have been mentioned. You know what I'm saying? But
No, or just, like, if he looked older.
Older.
Like, they don't know what he looked like when he
yeah,
disappeared. you know?
that's very true. That's very true. That's a good question. It could be like a manifest situation, like they just disappeared for 5 years and came back real quick.
Yeah.
But like, or like, maybe like a more reasonable answer to this is like, did he just go missing for 10 years, like at war, and like somebody finally like let him go, and he was able to find his way back where he needed to be, and had just so much PTSD and like was so mentally unstable that that's what made him to become mute. Because like him being mute is also like a mystery. Like why? Or did he become mute because his family abandoned him? Like I probably would.
I mean, all of that's a lot to take, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
saying. Like, or like, was this just like a ghost man? Like, I'm so confused.
I don't know. I'm also confused, like, why did he end up there?
At the
know?
mental health facility? Probably
Yeah.
because he had he seemed crazy.
Yes, but like if he's the one who took himself there, like I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think that
It
he was
seems
just like, this was like a part of the hospital that he was in, like when he went into the emergency room. You know what I'm saying?
But like why did he go to the emergency room?
Well, I think that he was confused.
Okay, that makes
Like
sense.
that because he
I
showed up and he was like, I've been dead for 10 years. Like, I think it was almost as if he like was like asleep for the 10 years that he was gone and like had just woke up and found himself into a VA hospital.
Right. See, and the other thing is the way he said that he's been dead for 10 years, like he knows.
Yeah, that's also true.
So
So, like,
maybe
is he a ghost?
yeah, like somehow he knows what happened. It's not like he just woke up and 10 years have well, maybe I
Yeah.
don't know. It's really hard to
It's so
say.
confusing, dude. It's so, I don't know. I don't know. All that I do know is that I honestly feel bad for Marion because
Yeah.
that's just really scary. Like, I don't even know what I would do if that was, if I was in that
Yeah.
situation, like, at all.
Like, and it's one thing for somebody to walk into a hospital and say that, and it to, like, you know, it ends up not being true. But then they call his family, and they're like, oh, yeah,
Right.
he was dead. It's like, what?
Like, what? Okay, and he's saying that he was dead too. Like,
Yeah. Maybe he's like a zombie.
right. I don't know, dude. I just don't know. But all that I do know is that I hope Marion is doing well out there today.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. But okay, so that was the end of The Walking Dead Reddit story. And now I just was like, that was not enough. So simply let me get one more for you. So this one is called The Unrest Stop. Dun
Oh.
dun dun.
Oh, okay.
So once again, not this person, this story is written in first person. So I'm going to read it just like as it was written.
Okay.
So I was driving across the country with my mom and sister when I was 16 and my sister was 20. We were driving along the interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, and so we stopped at the only rest stop like that we had seen in 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers like on a road trip at this gas station, as well as a small gray parked car like directly at the pump in front of us. And at the gray car there were two young men like standing outside of the car.
Okay.
And when we pulled up, immediately everything felt wrong. It was something that none of them could explain, but they all just had like a horrible, horrible gut feeling. But they had been on the road for days and days on end, and they had been to so many restaurants and rest stops and seen so many people, like, even at night, like, and they had never had this bad of a feeling, except for when they got to this one.
See, that's where you just get back in your car.
That's what I'm
and
saying. I'm
go.
like, babe, that's where you just go to the next one. No, like, absolutely not. However, my mom and sister decided that they had to pee really bad, so they went inside to pee, and I stayed in the car. Now, this is me, Taylor, jumping in right now. I am so sorry, girl, but that was the absolute wrong move. Please
Definitely.
tell me why. Tell me why you are going to stay in the car by yourself when there are creepy people outside your car.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I mean, at least, like, I guess if you lock your doors, maybe it's not that bad.
No,
But,
I
like,
don't care.
I would
I
just
would
go with
not.
my
I
mom.
would absolutely not do that. Like, after having that, like, really bad gut reaction, like, I feel like that's a sign, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
creepy. But you know what? She did it anyway. I could hear the teenagers say that they were, like, really creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work. So then they left in a hurry. So now at this point, it's just this girl in the car and then the other gray car with the two guys standing outside of it.
Oh, God.
So I was watching the car in front of us, and the two men appeared as if they had not moved at all since they had pulled into the gas station. Not even 1 inch. They weren't talking, they weren't on their phones, they were just standing there completely still. All of a sudden, my mom and sister came running back to the car as fast as they could, and when they got in the car, the two men started to move very slowly, but towards us.
Oh, no.
And when because they both weren't facing the car, they were kind of facing each other, but at this point, they're turning very slowly their bodies so that they're fully facing this car, okay?
This is so creepy.
I know. So when they had both fully turned their bodies, we could all see that they had really, really dark eyes. but they were not black eyes. The only way I can describe it is that the eyes were empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just almost like a void.
Oh my God. That's scary.
So we sped out of there really quickly, obviously, and didn't stop again until we were in the next really big city. But the worst part of the whole thing, you may ask, once we got to this big city, we were like, we need to find that restaurant and the rest stop. Why do I keep calling it a restaurant? Lord. The rest stop. They were like, we need to find this rest stop and maybe call the police and warn people that there's really creepy people sitting outside of it. So they're like, we're Googling all the things. We're looking on the paper map. We're looking on Google Maps and Apple Maps. Nothing. They cannot find this rest stop on anything.
What?
Yeah. So since we were, just in this big city, we were asking some of the locals if they knew anything about the rest stop out on that stretch of particular road. And they literally only got confused looks from the people.
Oh my God. It's not there, and they're just like, why are you saying that there's, a rest stop there? There's never been anything there.
Exactly. And so we did end up traveling that same exact interstate on the way back and many times after that. And there is absolutely no rest stop there. And that's that on that one.
That gave me chills. That's crazy.
Girl, what? Then where were you? Where were y'all? And who were those little creepy void eye hole men? What?
Right, and what were they gonna do?
Literally. What were they gonna do?
That's, oh my
horrifying.
God.
Literally horrifying. I was like, okay, and that's enough Reddit for me tonight. Close the computer.
Yeah, really.
It was horrifying. But yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. But I do have a very fun fact for any of those who are still listening. I actually had a whole different story planned, okay? And then we were recording the podcast as per usual. And I start my story, and Savannah was like, Taylor, wait. This sounds really familiar. And I was like, okay. So I stop. And then she looks. Turns out we'd covered it before. And I promise you guys, I searched our Google sheet 3 different times, and it was an issue with my computer, it turns out. But, so yeah, I found new stories for you this week. But we always called. I think from day one, we called that one day we would repeat a story. Mm-hmm. But you know what? We didn't repeat a story because I didn't do it again.
See, and I just still feel bad about it because you asked me the beginning of this week if I did that one before, and I said, oh, I don't know. And then I didn't look to check.
I just think it honestly shows how much we do not we have done so many of these, we do not remember every story.
Yeah, we don't.
Clearly, honestly, I think we say this every single episode.
Yeah, and I'm also really bad at names of things too. So if you say the description of it, it's okay, maybe I'm more likely to remember that. But the name of it, I'm I really could not tell you.
No, I'm the same exact way. I'm the same exact way. So, it was a little disheartening for me. I wanted to throw my laptop in the road when I figured that out.
Okay, but honestly, I think it turned out because this episode is super creepy.
Yeah, it is really creepy.
That's good. We haven't had a really creepy one in a while.
Yeah, so. This one, it's giving me the spooks magoops for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a disclaimer.
Yeah, honestly.
You're gonna get scared.
This one's spooky. If you don't want to be spook magook, maybe you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyways, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please.
Oh, and I feel like I need to add subscribe.
Oh yeah, anywhere. on YouTube.
YouTube and anywhere, because I think on Apple you can, and
true,
different platforms.
Yeah, or follow us on everything.
Yeah, just so when something new is uploaded, you'll get notified.
Yeah, and just because we're amazing, so you should.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course. I feel like I was gonna say something else. I kind
of jumped in there.
It's okay. It's okay.
I also want to say shout out to Uzi because I did hear him bark a little bit.
Oh yeah, shout out. That's our new assistant.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I actually, you know what? I have a little funny story time for any of those dedicated listeners if you want to hear about our new assistant.
Ugh.
Yesterday, me and my new roommate, we were out and about trying to get some propane so we could, cook stuff on the grill. And when we came back to the house, we opened the door, and it seemed as if there had been a murder in our house.
Oh
Blood
my God.
everywhere. When I say blood everywhere, blood everywhere. And I was like, this dog has somehow gotten an animal and destroyed it. But no, turns out he just bit his tongue so bad that it like was profusely bleeding.
Oh my
Like
God.
bit it all the way through. So we've been cleaning up what looks to be a crime scene, but it's really just Uzi's tongue blood.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's perfectly fine today.
It's been 24 hours.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's all good.
He's fine. He's fine. We were not fine. There was blood on both me and Christian's comforters, beds, everywhere, soaked. I mean, like, if the police had just ended up coming in, they would be like, these people definitely murdered somebody.
Oh my God. How long do you think he was bleeding for? Like, that's
I mean,
crazy.
we were only gone for like 45 minutes, so like, it couldn't have been that long.
That's
But
insane.
I don't know, dude. I don't even know how he did it, but he's perfectly fine. Yeah, he was just saying hi. His first official introduction there.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's really all I have for you guys this week. What about you?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, cue the music.